So today we're going to be going over Mugler Ultimate or Angelman Ultimate, whatever you want to call it here. This one here to me is quite special for a couple of reasons, one of which being the smell. It smells fantastic. It's a fragrance that hits home with me, and I will discuss why that is later on in the video. It has a bit of a familiarity to it, and so that's why I like it so much. And another reason why this one is quite special is because it's really one of the few Angelman fragrances that you can still purchase in general. And on top of that, you can still purchase it for a decent price. FragranceNet has this one for like $63 for 100 ml, this type of bottle right here. At the time of this video, I will link it up down below if you want to get one. This and the original Angelman are really the only two that you can still get. Pure Havane was a limited edition. It's gone. Pure Malt out of stock. All the prices on these are just going up. And there's a lot more too. Pure Coffee, Pure Wood, all of that stuff. You just can't get them anymore. So I really do think it's quite cool that you can still pick this one up. I mean, love it or hate it. The bottles are a little bit goofy. The atomizers suck because they have the rubber over them. But you know what? When you take a look at everything, they made some killer fragrances. Ultra Zest. I mean, seriously, they made some game changers here. And a lot of them, most of them, 99% of them, just can't get anymore. So I'm going to be going over this one today. I'm going to tell you how it smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, and ultimately if I think it's worth picking up, which I'll tell you right now, I do think it is, especially given the market, given what's going on with these fragrances. The link will be dropped down below. I would get on that if I were you, but you can make your decision at the end of the review, so let's get into it. So we're going to start off with the scent profile here. Now when you first spray this one on, you get reminded of a couple of things. First of which, you get a little bit of the original Angelman smell in here. And so if you're unaware of that one, it has patchouli, coffee, that kind of thing going on. So it's a rich, kind of sweeter men's fragrance. Some people say it kind of has a tar note, which is a little bit interesting, but when you do smell it, you maybe pick up on nuances. This one doesn't have coffee per se, but it does have cappuccino. And so what that does is it kind of gives off a coffee smell, but a bit more creamy and overall a bit easier to pull off. The original has that patchouli, which gives it kind of a chocolatey smell. It's a little bit gourmand in a way. And this one also has a little bit of a similar thing going on. So it's kind of like you were to take that original Angelman DNA and knock it back a few points, right? Because for a lot of people, the original is something that they don't even want to touch. It's strange to them. It's weird. It's hard to pull off. That's not really how this one is. We will take a look at the note breakdown here. It is very simple. We have cappuccino, balsam fir, cedar, and bergamot. So not a whole lot. They also don't have them categorized either in terms of top, mid, and base. That's just all they give you right there. But to be fair, you do pick up on really all of those. Up top, you do get the cappuccino right away, nice and creamy. The bergamot is more so giving off a freshness. It's not like super sour or citric or anything like that, so it's more subdued in a way. You do get the fir and also some of the cedar wood, and those two kind of cling together and just gives off this general woodiness. Now the cedar wood in here is not strong to the point where it's dry and smoky and even spicy. It's a little bit more creamy, so it's a mild cedar wood. And here's the reason why this one is familiar to me. It smells a little bit like C.H. Men by Carolina Herrera, the original one, you know, the red ribbon, and then they reformulated it, and now it doesn't have the red ribbon, and people are freaked out about it, and they don't even want to buy it anymore because they're scared. That's really what happened. It's so weird with that one. It's getting so much hype back when it was the red ribbon bottle, and as soon as they changed up the presentation for whatever reason, by the way, we don't know why they did that, reformulation rumors immediately flooded, and that killed the hype train. It was probably the worst thing they could have done because they literally chopped that fragrance's head off. Like, it was climbing, doing great. People were loving it. Oh, C.H. Men, red ribbon, this stuff is amazing. And it freaked people out when they changed it up, which I do understand, right? You don't want to see a fragrance get reformulated, but it's kind of, it's a little bit of a bummer. Same with C.H. Men Privé. Discontinued that one. they are seriously missing out on a couple of their best fragrances they've ever created there. They could have made some flankers off of those. Instead, they're focusing on Bad Boy. That's just kind of lame to me, but I digress. That's why this one's special, because it has some of that DNA. It has more performance, more of a richness, so I guess it is an improvement. So it does have some of that coffee smell, and it does give it a little bit of a gourmand aspect. You know, kind of has this sweetness, almost a little bit of a bubblegummy smell also, which I do really enjoy. Nice and fresh up top. You still get nuances of that original Angel Mint in there, which smells great. It's a really well done flanker because of that. If the original Angel Mint is something that you maybe like the smell of, but it's just too challenging for you, I encourage you to check out Ultimate, because this will solve all your problems. Let's go and talk about performance here. This is an eau de toilette, and on my skin, typically around 6.5 hours, somewhere around in there. So kind of right in that moderate range. Not as strong as the original, not as strong as Pure Havane. Pure Malt was always kind of in the mid-range to upper mid-range as well. Wasn't a huge beast mode scent, but performance will lack for some here. For me, 6 hours is, you know, I can live with it, given that I like the scent. If it was something that I wasn't the biggest fan of, then obviously I just probably wouldn't wear it. There are certain fragrances out there where, you know, if the performance is really, really, really good, but the scent, I'm kind of on the edge, that performance will help to push me over. And that's just kind of how it works, right? It's hard to turn down and deny a men's fragrance that is a beast mode scent. I think for a lot of us out there, we're heavily influenced like that. With this one here, the influence is not coming from the performance, so I guess in a way that's kind of cool because I'm judging this purely on the scent profile, which I do think has a lot going for it here. Projection is decent, especially if you get a little bit of heat on it. We will talk about situations and seasons here in the next segment, but it's still not going to be a huge performer. Definitely not a room filler. More so going to be a moderate scent, one that will leave a trail behind you as you walk through different rooms and that sort of thing. And talking about seasons, when you can wear this one, it's going to be kind of a really nice spring-fall scent. You know, it doesn't quite have the super heavy amount of richness for a winter scent. It definitely doesn't have the freshness for a summer scent. And that kind of places it in the in-between seasons. So fall time, when the weather's just starting to cool off, you get that nice, delicious cappuccino note, just the gourmand smell in general, which is a nice way to start easing into fall fragrances. In spring, it's a good way to start easing out. You know, for me, throughout wintertime, I'm wearing anything from Spice Bomb Extreme to Killian Straight to Heaven and everything in between. A whole bunch of rich, strong, boozy, tobacco, honey, sweet fragrances. And to go from that to Acqua di Gio Profondo, for example, it's a big change. This one's a nice segue. Kind of starts to ease you into fragrances with a little bit of a freshness, a little bit of a citrus top note here. And so spring and fall is when I see this one used for. This could also be a really nice date night scent, believe it or not. I do think so, because it has a little bit of that sweetness, kind of has a tiny bit of a mysterious factor to it, which I think is kind of fun. It's a fun fragrance, very playful. It's one that shocked me. You know, I looked at this one a couple times, a note breakdown, saw that it was for a good price, but I kept putting it off just because I'm like, oh, how good can it be? The notes, to be fair, there isn't a whole lot there. It's not a ton to go off of. But when I tried it for the first time, I'm like, you know what? I wish I would have gotten this one sooner. So I encourage you, if you have any sort of interest in this one, if you like the original, or even if you don't, if it's too much for you, check out Ultimate. I mean, this is something that I could smell all day. Super pleasant, very playful, fun, cappuccino, sweetness. It's a well-done scent, and I have a feeling, just like with everything else, at some point, you're not going to be able to get it anymore. So if you have an Ultimate, or if you have an Angel Mint collection, I should say, this would be a really nice option, and you could still get it for about $60, which is, compared to everything else, dirt cheap. Alright guys, that's going to do it for me. That's my review on Angel Mint Ultimate. Let me know what you think of this one down below. If you've tried it, do you like it, do you not? For me, really quite impressive. I'm glad I have it. It's a great scent, and I want to hear from you guys as well. Remember, I will link it up down below to Discounter so you can purchase it easily. And that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.